Hello and welcome to what's new in Microsoft 365 and Teams for August 2023. We got updates for Forms, List, OneDrive, Outlook, SharePoint, Stream, and a few from around Microsoft 365, and not forgetting Teams, of course. Before I start, I want you to check out my t-shirt. This is gifted to me by my lad. So he won that on a family holiday. I'm going to stand up while I ask the question. He won this on a family holiday. I almost won one. Can anyone tell me in the chat the what and the where of how we came across that t-shirt? I think it's super cool, really like it. In fact, it might even be my uniform for doing these updates. I'm here in this shed that I only ever do work in here, so I might christen it the 365 shed. But anyway, let's get started. Let's see what we've got. So, oh, oh, oh. So I've got a few things to go over. So I'm going to get a big old update this month, but I'm not going to cover everything. If you want to know everything that's happened in the last month, go and check out the blog. There's over 75 updates there. When I say updates, some of it's new, some of it's revised dates, some of them are ones to watch. So go and check that out after you've had a watch of this. But why don't we start off with lists? This looks quite good. So create a Microsoft list from a CSV file. Okay, so that's cool. But what's even better is that you can also export to CSV with schema. So that schema part's important because it means that you get all your customizations, your pill colors, your people, all that sort of stuff. So you can export a list and then have one recreated that's a perfect match for it. So this screenshot down the bottom here, this is from my machine today. So that is available now. Oh, quick couple of gotchas. Maybe go and check out the blog for all of them. So you're going to get some true and falses rather than yes and no's. But I'm sure that'll be fine. Available now, certainly I have it, but might be as late as the end of September. And what else do we have? So also available now is a new list templates with approvals. So I know an organization that hasn't turned on approvals. In fact, I know two that I have a lot of dealings with. So they still see these templates, but unfortunately they can't use them. But anyway, so you can see here that here we can do it. We can see who our approvers are. Maybe we need to have more than one. We've got a choice there. So that is available now, folks. Go and check that out. And that wraps up, nice and quick, lists. Moving on to OneDrive. What we've got in OneDrive, colored folders in OneDrive and SharePoint allows you to change the color of new and existing folders in OneDrive and SharePoint. Kind of got mixed views on this. So I do like an evergreen update, a bit like this, but customized for two large organizations. And we're looking at this at one of them last week. And the My Files view here inside OneDrive makes a lot of sense to people. What doesn't make quite so much sense is that when you update this in the SharePoint site behind Teams, is that everybody sees it. So the idea of changing the colors for everybody, I'm not sure what I think about that, if I'm honest. So we'll see. But also, what if people struggle with certain colors? I think from a usability point of view, I think I personally, I'm not super sure about changing it for everybody. But, certainly the OneDrive side of it looks awesome. Well, let me just go back. So 16 preset colors, it will default to yellow. Up here, you can see that when I'm creating a new one, I get the option there. But also when I rename it, it's asking me, do I want to give it a color as well? So I can recolor it. Super cool. Available now for many, maybe as long as October this year for everybody. Next up, we have relocating sync command in OneDrive's My Files. So you know that from the previous sessions that OneDrive's had a bit of a facelift and it looks great. But if you want to sync this OneDrive, you're going to find that now in this cog up here, live now. Next up, browse files by people. OneDrive on the web. This looks great. Maybe you and Susanna share a lot of files. You can pin Susanna and she's super easy to find and you can see all the files between you. You know that the whole blog is available if you want to go and read it. And that, folks, is available between early August. I don't personally have it, but might be here by late September. And that is it. So we're getting through this quite quickly. You wait till later, folks, and there's loads coming down the line. Let's have a look at Outlook. Inking support coming to new Outlook due early to late September. So let's have a look at this. So we've got our ink support. I don't know, I can write on my email. I'm sure someone's got a use for that. And if they have, they can have it by late September. Okay, online search box interface improvements due early to late September. Let's have a look at this. So let's have a good zoom in. So the magnifying glass, it goes the other way. It's a bit darker and it's got a smaller handle. The search text has moved a little bit to the left and it's a bit darker and slightly heavier as well. Actually, I'm going to comment on that later. A bit of the theme with the extra contrast and a slightly heavier font. What else do we have? The line underneath is a bit sharper and a bit darker. There you go. Late September, folks. Probably more impressive is refiners available in Outlook for the web. So we're doing a search, and here are some of our refiners there, and it might be. So I've told you about, and I might have to just sanity check what I'm about to say, but I think it was OneDrive for the web that was getting the 1,000 search results. When you get 1,000 search results, you might find that these refiners are quite handy. The OneDrive Outlook Online just gets better and better. Okay, moving on to SharePoint. We've got quite a bit for you SharePoint folk today. So new SharePoint site theme options due September to mid-October. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a close look. So we've got that black theme, which is different shades of black, different shades of grey and pink. And we've got, is that cerulean or cerulean or something else? Maybe someone who can help me out. I know you're going to have to kind of sort of spell it out in the comments, but help me out with that. Cool. Update to improvements to SharePoint pages authoring. Okay, so this update came in two parts. Part of it, more control over the spacing in the text web part in pages. So that has been rolled back. So if that means anything to you and you wonder where it's gone, it's because it's been rolled back as a result of feedback. When I say roll back, put back to how it was before they changed it. Improvements to the SharePoint page authoring experience. So this was the was the other one. So there was two. There was a couple actually come out. That's why I've started putting the month that it came out in there, just so you can see when it came out. Anyway, so that should be available to you now, and I've just highlighted one of the options there with the text opacity and your options over an image. So that should be available to you now. Go check out the blog if you want to have a look at that. Also, we've got send SharePoint news to Outlook templates. So we've got these new templates. So there's going to be 6 of them. And you can see here they kind of highlight themselves because I've got that email icon there. Let's tell you a little bit about themselves. Let's just move along, and we can see here that I've created my page. I also now get the option, because of the template I'm using, to send that to email recipients, and this is how it looks. So it displays quite nicely in an email. And I haven't done a very good job of moving my video there. That, folks, is due mid to late September 2023. Let's hope the next slide goes better. Accessibility improvements to SharePoint page authoring. So 2 parts to this. First one is the ability to mark images as decorative, and the screen readers will ignore that. I hope that people who maybe are a bit lazy don't use that as an opportunity to not put alternative text in. I'm sure they wouldn't. Also, heading level 1 is to be reserved for the page title, and further down the screen you're going to have to use these other headings. Just while I'm on there, so as part of this update, Microsoft shared a tip, and it was saying if you're trying to create headings inside your SharePoint pages, don't fall into the trap of just using bigger text. Okay, make sure that you use these headings because they really help screen readers, and people rely on them. So please take a second to use those rather than just using slightly bigger fonts. Okay, so due early to late September 2023, SharePoint page sharing feature. So It lets you nice and easily share pages and news posts individually. So you get in this here. Let's just have a little zoom in on here. So just this share drop down, share page, and that looks a lot like the normal 365 sharing experience, doesn't it? So this replaces the current send to experience, and it's due mid August to early September 2023. And I'm having more issues with my video feed. Sorry, folks. Yeah, due mid-August to early September. That pesky video feed, we'll see whether I need to stop and start again in a minute. And now we're getting on to stream. So the new stream, I keep saying new stream on SharePoint. I'm just going to stay stream from now on. If I say stream, I'm talking about the new current stream on SharePoint. The web part release due mid-August to mid-September. You think that would have been out by now, wouldn't you? But anyway, a little bit delayed. So the playlist view in the SharePoint list web part, so not the same as that thing above. This is the list web part. So this list just happens to be a list of videos, but you can see there how nice it looks. I can see the list on the left hand side. I've got the player in the middle. So now due by mid-September. Collaborative notes in Teams meetings recording. Right, so this is one to watch. So we've got that icon there, that one to watch icon. That tells you that this is from the roadmap rather than from the admin center. And the details are sketchy. And even more sketchy is this date that they give here. So maybe by the end of the year. Okay, so we are on to Teams now. Workflows replacing connectors within Microsoft Teams channels menu. So you know when you go to a channel, click on the three little dots, you get the option there to add connectors. So a useful one in the past might have been the Twitter one. You could go to someone's feed and put in their updates. Anyway, so it's getting replaced by workflows, currently powered by Power Automate. I'll come back to that in a second. And that's coming into the overflow menu for channels. When you click on the three little dots. You will still be able to use your connectors because you may have some set up, but you need to go to Manage Channel Settings and you'll find that in there. Okay, so you won't be able to use this if your org has disabled the Power Automate app, and I know somewhere that does, and it's a bit frustrating, but rules are rules. Okay, due mid to late September 2023. And if you're interested, if you want a sneak peek of this, folks, you can go and have a look at the workflows that are available already. They're just not been surfaced like that yet. Okay, so what else do we have? Coming to Microsoft Teams, the Power App will be renamed Workflows. Okay, so to provide a unified workflow experience within Microsoft Teams, we will be merging the existing Workflows app with the Power Automate app. When I say merging, this doesn't work out very well for the Power Automate app. I've got to tell you, you'll see why in a sec. Anyway, they're merging them. With this merger, the Power Automate app will be changing its name to Workflows, and it's going to look a lot like this. So the Power Automate app didn't do very well in that merger, did it? So if it's available now, you can see there, you can go and find it, and you can add it, but it's going to be pre-installed for all Teams users when this merger, also known as the death of the Power Automate app, happens, which is late September to early October. Okay, and sort of on the topic of workflows, check this out, South Coast Summit 2023, 13th to the 14th of October 2023. At the Farnborough International Exhibition and Conference Centre. So there's some paid activity, some super activity on Friday the 13th. That's not my favourite date. And Saturday the 14th, it is free and you can come all day. And if you're in the UK or maybe not too far away in Europe, then you can come over and join that and join in. You got a full day. But I kind of want to draw your attention to what's happening at 1 p.m. So I'm doing a session, Teams, the newbie's gateway to the Power Platform. So I am not a Power Platform guy. I am an adoption and exploitation of Microsoft 365 and Teams. And what I'm good at is empowering a team to make the most of 365. And this is a really good way of doing it, creating an area for your teams to get exposed to the Power Platform. And I really like this option here. So we've got workflows which are there available for you at the moment, so you can exploit them. I'm going to just focus on a handful that you can take back and show to your colleagues that will get them, that will just break the ice. And I really do think they're like the newbie's gateway into the Power Platform. And when I talk about sort of work like this, what I enjoy, and I see this so often, is someone who doesn't understand a topic. Often it's like going for a jog with a racehorse when it comes to Microsoft 365 stuff. You point them in the right direction, you lead them the first few steps, and whoosh, they're gone. So this is what I want to show you, and then maybe you can take that back to your organization. So check that out. Oh, and when you sign up, make sure you add this session to what you're doing. Okay, so back on with what you are here for. Near time calendar sync and updates in a Teams mobile calendar. I've got to be honest, I used the mobile app, but I didn't know it wasn't real time. I've never been caught out by it. But anyway, it's getting more better. I know, okay. But it's getting more better late August to early September this year. Web links from Microsoft Teams chat to open in Microsoft Edge. So they're going to open side by side with a link. So it just means that the link will open along with the chat next to it. I can't be honest, I haven't seen a screenshot of that, so I can't super visualize how it's going to look. But as soon as I do, I'll come back and show you a bit more about it. I'm sure it's out there, I just haven't seen it yet. Okay, so this you can see here. Let me just go back one. Look at this little clock, just drawing your attention to it. So this just means that what I'm talking about now is just a little bit delayed. Expanded view of the profile card in Teams. I've talked about that before, due early November. Channel meeting invitation. So you got your channel calendar, you're doing an invite via team. And instead of either trusting that they are paying attention to the channel, to the calendar and to the channel on the calendar, and they'll come to the meeting, or you having to add people one by one, you can just send an invite to everybody that's in that channel. I should say channel actually. Due late August to mid-September. New Microsoft Teams channel experience. Now due mid-September to late October, and I'm sure you've seen that. If you haven't seen it, go and check out the blog. That looks great. I'm really looking forward to that. I see it in my tenant, but I get stuff quite early, so I'm hoping that that's going to start rolling out for customers because that looks quite nice. And I've been talking about it forever. And Teams getting a new way to getting a new chat and channel search experience now due mid to late September. I wonder whether that'll end up coming into together actually. In fact, thinking about it, do they? I'm not sure, but maybe they'll come in together. And moving on to Whiteboard. Okay, so Microsoft Whiteboard user interface updates. Go and check them out, folks. They're available now. And I say this every time I talk about Whiteboard. Whiteboard looks so great now. They've done so much work on it. So if you've not checked it out recently, go and have a look because it's no longer just somewhere where you scribble. So many great templates, and this new update really surfaces its capabilities. Go and check it out. Okay, what else do we have? Microsoft Forms poll loop component, copy and paste. So you can copy and paste that loop component in and out of Whiteboard. It goes either way, but that's one to watch, which means take that date with a pinch of salt. Live text, so you can see as people are updating, say the sticky notes, you can see right there what they're doing due October maybe. Expanded reaction sticker set again, possibly in November. Auto follow when a follow session is initiated. So I've read the notes on this, or the very scant notes, and I'm not quite sure how this is going to work. If I'm honest, I don't know whether somebody who's following along, did I get notified, or I don't know. So this thing that sounds interesting, that will solve some problem, is coming sometime maybe this year. So lots of detail there for you folks. You're very welcome. Okay, app mentions within comments. So app and email notifications for those when you app mention somebody. So that's just going to be just much easier to draw someone and get their attention. Maybe early next year. Okay, let's see what's going on around Microsoft 365. So going to preview. So not for everybody, it just depends on how you're set up in your org. Python in Excel is rolling out. I can't be honest, I don't really know how much of a big deal that is. I don't use Python. The stuff at the top looks very technical. this looks lovely. And people say that it's quite useful. So I heard a few people say actually they were like, yeah, at first, but when they looked at it, they're quite impressed. But I gotta be honest, folks, I don't really know. But if you're a Python person and you can use Excel, you can work that out for yourself. During public preview, late August to early September. General availability is still to be confirmed, but will require a Python in Excel license. So hopefully your organization is happy to pony up some money for you to use it. Around Microsoft 365, what else have we got? Office documents to have a new default theme mid-August to September. So I apologize for the state of this this screenshot. It's from a Microsoft website, and on a blog I do credit them, and I'm very grateful for them providing the screenshots. It's my fault that I've not done a good job of capturing it. But okay, some of the main changes are the colors. So on the right hand side, look at the changes in the colors. Look at this, they're slightly thicker as well. Lines are slightly thicker and better contrast. If you just look at this area here on the left versus this area here, it's much better contrast. Now, remember when I was making fun of the changes to the search box for Outlook earlier? One thing I did note was that there was slightly thicker, slightly thicker fonts, or slightly thicker like amount of pixels, and much better contrast. So maybe there's a bit of a theme going on there. They're working on their contrast. Okay, what else do we have? See your recent Microsoft Planner plans and Microsoft to-do lists on the Microsoft 365 homepage. I use Planner every day, and I use it to keep up to date with stuff. So if it is doing a better job of keeping me up to date, I'm all for that. Planner components in Microsoft Loop due September. I'm not sure what's going on with that, so I might need to revisit this. This is a one to watch, but I'm not sure that date's going to work. The Windows Mail and Calendar, they're becoming Outlook, so due late 2024. But if you're a big fan of the Windows Mail and Calendar, I'm not sure. I don't know how that would be the thing that you use at work if you're that into Microsoft 365, but maybe you are. Anyway, you're losing it. Okay, so that is about it. So what was that? Just over 20 minutes. So folks, hopefully that was helpful. Remember that you can keep up to date on Twitter and YouTube. Follow me on LinkedIn. Check out the blog. Look out for the podcast if that's your thing. Sign up to be notified every month when this is done. But for now, folks, from what I'm going to brand the 365 shed, we're done. I'll see you next month.